What is up, gents? DirtBag Gaming here, the channel for casual raiders. We did it. So I wasn't going to make this video until I actually knew we could go the entire Doom Tower normal waves with just these three. So it took me a little bit. It took me, since I do normal after hard, it took me about, what, 2 weeks to complete the whole thing. But we did it. So this whole video is going to be about urost, Rion, and the ukoth. So I use these three mainly for Doom Tower. Ukoth can be used for Spider 25, which is pretty cool, and Rion can actually be used for the Hydra boss. I know urost is a little bit harder to get, but this is essentially like a free-to-play build because you can all farm these champions once you do Doom Tower. And if you had these three champions, you could literally just run them through Doom Tower normal waves pretty easily. Now, we did do Doom Tower hard waves with these three, except you couldn't solo it. There just wasn't enough healing, there wasn't enough CC, whatever it may be. So you had to add 2 other people. I did a video on that before, so if you want to go check that out, it's for Doom Tower hard waves. But you can add like a Sile or a Ninja or somebody that's going to be free to play. A Lydia could be good, but free to play to kind of get you through those hard Doom Tower waves. So with this, we're going to go over the gears, masteries, artifacts, everything you need to know on what I use to get there. Now, this is pretty good gear. Like some of these champs, I do use other places than just Doom Tower, but you can basically compare on what you need and what you don't need. Now, the biggest suggestion I would say is, again, there's no healing in this team, so you need to book out your Rion with essentially a regeneration set with an immortal set. A lot of us are farming that set now because it's really good for Doom Tower, but you kind of need to put that on her because she needs to heal up a lot. Again, there's no other healing besides that one set. So let's get into it. We'll start off with urost because he's at the top of the list. So we have his skills being at an A1, attacks one enemy, places a shield on this champion. So this helps out a lot, just putting out shields, because he's the one that has the ally protect, so he's able to kind of take the damage off everybody else. But he puts a shield equal to 10% of this champion's max HP. So this champion's max HP for 2 turn, increased by 1% for each poison debuff on the target. Most of the time, you're not going to have a lot of poisons. These ads die pretty easily. And then he has an attack all enemy on his A2, which is a 3-turn cooldown. They are all booked out, I believe. Has a 75% chance up to 100% chance to decrease the turn meter. So he's all about poisons. If you can get poisons on the enemy team, his skills just escalate. I really want a Calvalax just to kind of test this out. Calvalax is insane, but I don't have him. But he basically increases damage, decreases their speed, and can stun everybody on an AoE on a 3-turn cooldown if they have 3 poisons on them. So that's why Calvalax again will be really freaking good combo with the urost. So then we got the A3, which is strength and debuff, so your guys take a lot less damage, and 50% ally protection on all allies except this champion for 2 turns. So basically it's on a 3-turn cooldown, so almost always you can have the strengthen and the ally protect up on your champion, so they're probably not going to die. He can die, but it's fine, he'll just get rezzed up by Rion. Now his passive is anytime somebody's attacked with a strengthen debuff, it puts out a provoke on the enemy team, which then can attack him. Now when he's attacked, he has a 50% chance of putting a poison debuff for 2 turns. So this is why it's good for bosses, it's good for waves. He basically is the tank of the team. He increases his max HP, decrease the enemy max HP, cannot decrease, so it doesn't work for the bosses, the decrease stuff, obviously, but at least the poisons, it'll work for the boss. So you're able to put out poisons on the boss, he does more damage. He's really resistant, his aura in all battles is 80, so that's why we have him as the lead, so he's actually increasing everybody's aura by 80. The masteries, you can go down the offensive tree just to do more damage, but I went really defensive with this guy. I want him to be a lot of HP, survive. He has 50 extra resistance. We went down to unshakable, and then we extended our debuffs with Master Hexer, and we extended lasting gifts to extend our buffs on our team. So super tanky. I'll show you the stats and everything at the end of the video. But we need accuracy because I want him to land his debuffs as well. So we brought accuracy, perception, and resistance set on this guy. So next we got Rion. She's the one that is going to be rezzing your guys. So if both of them are dead, which they're not going to be, if you res one, they both get res. Now this worked really well in the hard Doom Tower, because if you res one of your people that aren't a part of these guys, the elemental people, then the elemental people res up and they do their A2s. So once she reses one of your guys, they automatically do their A2. That's like their passive, and they do damage. So it's pretty cool that once they get resed up, they automatically do their A2. So let's go over her skills. I already said she's in a Immortal and a Regeneration set because there's no healing on this team. You basically have to heal yourself with those sets. So she has an A1, which is a block buff. This is why she's pretty good in Hydra. She has a 50, 60, 70% of placing a block debuff for 2 turns. That's on her A1. Then she has a 75% chance of removing all buffs from all enemies, so it's up to 100% chance, and place a 25% weaken on all enemies. So during the Hydra, there's a lot of buffs that go out. So basically, she's able to remove all of them. This is on a 3-turn cooldown, so if you have her really fast, this will come in handy a lot. Then, so she only has really 2 offensive spells, and the last one is the res. She revives a dead ally with 50% HP and fills a turn meter by 50%. Also place a block debuff on them for 2 turns, which is great. We'll also revive ukoth or urost. If either ukoth or urost are the target of the skill, that champion will revive 50% HP, 50% turn meter on block buff. All right, so basically she reses up these 2 even if they're not the target, which is cool. So that's why it works really well with the Doom Tower hard. So she could be a Doom Tower hard champion if you want to run if you don't have these other 2. If you have one of them, bring him. Like the fire guy is really good because he does a lot of damage on the waves, especially the hard Doom Tower waves. But if you res one of your other people that die, the ukoth gets resed up and does his A2, which is the AoE fire damage, HP burn. Perfect combo. She has an accuracy in all battles by 40, so this could be good for the hard waves because you need a lot of accuracy to land a lot of these debuffs for the hard. Wow. Okay, so then we went with the more defensive tree again with her. So we got her all the way up to Eagle Eye because she needs to land her debuffs. For Hydra, she wasn't landing them as much as I wanted to. So I want her to be able to strip, which she wasn't doing in hard. So I needed more accuracy. And I want her to land her block buffs on the enemy team. So I brought it down to Eagle Eye. We got Master Hexer to extend the buffs, and Spirit Haste in case any of your guys die, increases her speed. We also have Cycle Revenge, so 50% chance to increase the turn meter by 50% when an ally is attacked with a critical hit. Again, it's all about turn meter boosts, so basically you're boosting your own turn meter. Yeah, you just want it really fast. So a lot of HP, super fast, and a lot of accuracy to land her debuffs and take away the enemy buffs. So finally, to end off this solo run, we have ukoth. ukoth is the HP burn champion. Like I said, a lot of people use him for the Spider 25 team because he just does so much damage with that team, especially on all the little spiderlings. But attacks one enemy, has a 50% chance of placing a 30% decreased crit rate for 2 turns. So already puts out a decreased crit rate on any bosses or adds. But the main skill, which is the second one, attacks all enemies, has a 20% chance of placing HP burn debuff for 2 turns. The chance is increased by 20% for each alive enemy. So basically, you only need 4 alive enemies on the enemy team to make it up to 100%. So it's going to land. It's basically 100% chance of putting out a HP burn debuff on a 3-turn cooldown AoE. Very good. So he needs accuracy. Attacks all enemies for his A3. 50% chance of increasing the cooldown. That's really cool. By 2 turns on enemies under HP burn debuff. So you want him to do his A2 first, and then he comes around doing his A3. Will also place a shield buff equal to 20% of this champion's max HP on all allies for 2 turns. Pretty good. So you want him to have a lot of HP. He is a defensive type champion, so you kind of have to get around that. Instantly activates this skill when revived by Rion. So basically he's going to be able to do his A3 when he's revived. So it's an AoE that puts out a shield when he gets revived. That's pretty cool. Based off damage is defense. And then finally he has a 10% chance of placing a fear, which is always cool. Debuff on the enemy for 1 turn whenever they receive the damage from HP burn debuff. So that gets up to a 10-25% chance. So 1/4% chance to put out a fear just by them taking the HP burn debuff. That's pretty cool. So he's all about debuff. This whole team's all about debuffs. It's very good. He's got an aura HP in all battles by 25%. That could be also his lead. And I this guy is our damage dealer. So I brought him down to War Master. He does AoEs, he does a lot of damage, so we might as well just go with the War Master. We got down to Master Hexer to extend his debuffs, and Sniper to give me an extra 5% chance to land his other skills. So pretty cool. So I'm gonna let this run. You guys can watch this. I'm gonna make it go faster, but it's literally going from stage 1 all the way up to stage 119 solo to get through all the battles, and then at the end we'll go over the stats, the artifacts, and some other suggestions that you can use for this and also Doom Tower hard. All right, so this is stage 88, but you guys obviously saw it kind of just runs on auto. you literally just have the auto clicker go, you do your 10 battles, you do your boss, and then you go do your dailies. But they go so good together. They didn't really die. I mean, if they did, she just res them back up. But she's able to put out a debuff. She's able to strip any buffs that are out. Like the Siffies weren't really a problem for the normal waves. The HP burns definitely helped. He just did so much damage, ukoth. And then urost just helped survive that much further. So this is basically the last one that I recorded. Then I did obviously go all the way up to level 119 on normal with all three. I might do it again with hard to try and get a auto team going. It's just so hard with hard, trying to get through all those waves, especially the higher Doom Tower. You need 5 people. I just don't know if you can do it with just these 3 people. At least you can do it on normal, but you can't do it on hard. So that's the final stage. Let me just stop this for you guys, and we'll go over exactly what we used, what gear sets, all that fun stuff. So we'll start at the top. Urost. Urost is definitely one of the best champions to run in Doom Tower in the game. A lot of people use him for soloing and all that fun stuff. Stu made a video on him doing it, but he's an HP type champion, so you want him to have a ton of HP. We got him all the way up to 100k, 2200 defense, 236 speed, so he is not slow. He's very fast. 300 resistance. He has that extra 80 resistance aura, so he's up to like 390 in Doom Tower, and then 388 accuracy, because you definitely want him to land his debuffs. He's got the stun, decreased speed, and this right here, the poisons. So you definitely need the accuracy for the poisons. Masteries, as I said, we went down to resistance and got a little bit of the Masteries to extend the debuffs. So we went with HP, speed, HP, speed, speed, HP, speed. That's a really good roll. And then speed and HP. And then down here we went with probably all HP, so HP, HP, and accuracy. So accuracy for the banner for probably all 3 of these people, because this whole team needs accuracy. But yeah, so pretty good stats on our urost. Now this one is probably the most important one, is you're going to need a regeneration set and a mortal set. Again, she doesn't have any healing. The team doesn't have any healing, so she's the one that has to be the reser and healing the team. So we want her with really fast stats, with a lot of HP, as much as you can get. That's not as much as urost, but she only starts with 17,000. 247 speed, so she's the fastest on the team. 300 accuracy, because that's with the extra 50 from the masteries. So if you're gonna do it the way I did it, make sure you get the mastery plus 50 in the masteries to get that extra 300 accuracy. Don't need a ton of resistance. But you have an extra 80 from urost as the leader, so you have to 290, which isn't too bad. But mainly for her, you need her to survive. So you need her to have a ton of HP, pretty good defense, and a lot of speed. So we went with, if you can guess it, HP, HP, and speed. Everything else is speed, and crit rate. Just, I don't know why, it's probably the best that I had, and then speed. Then down here we went with HP, and accuracy. Like I said, all the banners, you're probably going to want as much speed as you can get with accuracy and HP substats. So that is our Rion. And ukoth. So ukoth, again, you're going to be using a lot of places. So these 3 aren't bad to level up if you want to level them up. And if you're going to level up ukoth and you just want to level up Rion, so Rion and ukoth, and you have 4 other people or 3 other people on the team, if she reses up any of the other people, ukoth's going to get resed up and do his A3, which puts a shield out on everybody, like automatically right when he gets resed up. Also going to put out the fears on everybody, so you need his accuracy to be really high. He is our damage dealer, so we have him up to War Master to do more damage. But his total stats, again, not slow. 223 speed, 34. He is a defensive champion, so we want him to do damage. 3,400 defense, 70,000 HP, 360 accuracy to land his HP burns, and 230, which goes up to 320 or 310 for the resistance. So what do we go? We went with, you could probably go with crit rate gloves. Again, I want him to be tanky, so we went with HP, HP chest piece, speed boots, HP, really good roll with speed, HP and defense, and then accuracy, HP and speed. Down here, this is where you can get some of the defense going, but we have HP with really good defense roll, We have HP with accuracy, and then we have accuracy, obviously, with really good defensive roll. So he starts with almost 1300 defense, which is a lot. So that's going to scale really well with your defensive substats. So making sure that you get the substats in defense, you'll be fine with damage. Again, we're using him for the HP burns, and a little bit of HP gives you a little bit of shield when he comes back. But we want his accuracy for the burns and also the fears. Anytime somebody gets a fear off, it's always fun to see them just skip their turn. So there you go. Those are the three that we soloed. I'm sure you can use them in other instances, but we're going to do a separate video on each champion just to kind of let you know what they can do outside of just this this comp. But this comp is definitely fun. If you were to just go into Doom Tower, I think, yeah, I started Doom Tower hard. So if you just go into Doom Tower, we have the reset. So you just throw this in here and you do, let's get rid of this team. And you go like urost, Rion, and Forgoth. Let's just see. Let's throw accuracy lead in there, and let's just see what this does on auto. So this is Doom Tower hard 30, I believe. And you can manual it. It's just not. I really don't want to sit here for 20 minutes manualing normal Doom Tower waves. But see, he did his A2. His AI isn't smart. So he did his A3, which resets the cooldown by 2, which is great skill. But they need to have HP burn debuff on them. So you probably want to have the HP burn debuff first, and then reset everybody's skill. And she doesn't really need to do her A2 because there's no buffs up. So like, this is what I'm saying. Like, it's not, and of course I have it on auto. So it's not the smartest AI in the world. Let's see if we can take it off auto. Okay. So she's just going to do her A1. He is going to do this. And he's going to put out the HP burn. So everybody has HP burn. So every time it ticks, yeah, so see, all their health just keeps going down because of all the HP burn debuffs. But anytime somebody gets attacked, they get a provoke from this guy. So we can do this, but there's no poisons out. So it really doesn't do anything, it's just the AoE. But now they're all attacking him, so it's putting poisons out. Provokes and poisons. He was already provoked because these rock dudes from the dwarf faction have provoke. It's actually a really good provoke too. But nobody really does. Now I can take off the buffs. Look at that. 340 accuracy and still not good enough to take off that buff. So now it's just running up, putting a shield on himself. We'll reset the cooldowns. Only 2 resets, so you need a lot of accuracy for Doom Tower hard. No reses. Put out a shared buff. Provoked. HP burns. She just heals herself back up. Again, if you don't have a regen set on her, she's not going to do very well. She's going to die. That's the first thing I noticed with this team. And you could always bring in somebody, obviously another healer, but the whole goal is to kind of like manual it. Not manual, but 3-man it. Alright, so this guy's dead. That guy should die from the HP burns. He should die. Everybody's already provoked. Cool, so that was the first wave. So like I said, not the best manual because the AI is just dumb. But you can do it. I mean, this was only the first wave and it took frickin' 2 minutes. But this is with the gear, this is with the Masteries. Everybody fully kitted out. Alright, so this scene, what do we got? We can take off that. So take off that counterattack. We can do ally protect so we don't die, and then HP burn. Provoked, poisoned, provoked, and then he's going to reset everybody's cooldown hopefully. Let's see what his accuracy is like. But maybe he'll die and then I can show you that I can res him. So reset everybody's cooldown. Nope, only 2 of them. but he's super, super tanky. All right, so this guy's going down, but I can put this on auto for now. Then watch, when he gets rezzed up, he'll do his A3, I believe, or A2. He only has 2. Yeah, I think he does his AoE attack, which there are some poisons out, so maybe, oh, there's 3 poisons on that guy, so that'd be good. If he dies. Look how many poisons are going on right now. All right, so he's dead, so she's gonna res him back up. He's gonna, oh, that's not good. He's gonna do his A2. Look at that, stun. Decrease speed, decrease speed, decrease speed. So that was cool. So really good AoE for that if all the poisons are out on the team. You can bring in another poisoner in to help boost up uroth, but yeah, that was a pretty easy turn. All the poisons and HP burn debuffs. So that wave is dead. And then final wave. Take away that. That's on cooldown, and then see if the HP burn. All right, cool. And then you wrote that. All right, cool. So that's the team. Pretty simple, pretty basic, pretty good gear. But let me know what you guys think about these guys. Again, I'm going to do a video on them. Oh, of course, our repressor is going to die. Nice, good video, guys. I'm going to do an individual video on them where you can use them separately. I also have a whole list of videos that we got to make this week. But hopefully you guys are crushing clan versus clan. Our clan is. We're looking for more members. DBN5 is the main clan team. DBN3 is our alternate clan team. It's for newer members. So if you guys are interested in a fun, cool dirtbags, join the Discord in the link below because you need to be a part of that to be a part of the clan versus clan. So guys, let me know. Appreciate it. Thanks for clicking on the video, and we will see you in another video soon.